Hey folks, Studio here. So today I want to talk about your goals when you enter games and ways you practice. So people want to improve on things. For example, if you go into a solo queue game without any specific goal, hopefully you're looking just to improve upon your general play or learn a new champion or get better in some way. But if you have a specific goal, like let's say you are a great Lee Sin player and you want to practice against Rumble, or you want to go for a level 2 kill. If you cannot get these scenarios down, then go for something else. Try to learn something else. Try to adapt and make that something to practice. So for example, let's say you're Lee Sin and you want to practice level 2 kills. So you decide you're going to shield in, use your E, and just auto attack people down. And hopefully you've harassed them enough at level 1 where they'll be low. What if you get ganked at level 1 by an enemy jungler who's level 2? It's a Shyvana. It's Amundo, it's Rammus. So what do you do in these situations? Well, obviously, if you can't do what you originally planned to, or if you still could try it, but it's going to be super risky and pointless, then don't. Learn something else to do. Now, instead of going for this level 2 kill, learn how to recover from these early ganks. There are a lot of players who are very, very good in very specific scenarios. Like, let's say they do get ganked at level 2, they're very good at recovering. There are some players who, once they fall behind or play a different game than what they're used to, they just turn over dead. I mean, imagine this. So let's look at NY Jackie. NY Jackie's a cool player. If things don't go his way, he's gonna adapt. He's gonna try and change. These things won't always work. Sometimes you will decide, oh, here's my opening. Here's my chance to change up my game plan and go for a kill, and you'll just get crushed and die. But by constantly adjusting and constantly changing how he plays, he's not going to be stuck in this mindset where, well, if I lose my laning at all, or if I can't get this gank at level 5 from the jungler, then I'm going to be screwed and lose the game. No, he doesn't let that happen. And you shouldn't let that happen. You should not be dependent on one thing happening. And a lot of people will try and practice this one thing, like last hitting under pressure. If the enemy isn't pressuring you, obviously you're not going to practice last hitting under pressure. Maybe you should try to pressure him or put him in a bad spot. But if you've ever played a fighting game, like relatively seriously, so like let's say you're playing Street Fighter 4 and you're a Chun-Li player and you decide, I want to practice against all the Ryus. So you go ahead, you go online, you go to your local Street Fighter hangout spot, the college campus, the game center, you're at Wednesday night fights with Alex Valle. So you decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and practice my Chun-Li versus Ryu. And you sit down and you play a guy, you've joined a lobby, and he's an able player. Are you going to get up and walk away and say, no, I'm looking for Ryus? No. Hell no. It'd be rude as hell. And more importantly, oh, okay, you have a chance to play against able. I mean, maybe there's something you don't know about the matchup. Maybe you need to keep practicing and learn it. So you're going to be put in these situations where you really don't want to try what you expected to try. This can happen all the time in every lane, in the jungle, just because of the enemy's actions. If the jungler ganks, completely different game plan all of a sudden. If you gank, instead of sit in lane, you're controlling what you do. So have a goal that hopefully will mostly involve you, will mostly involve your actions. And if you have to adapt, practice that adaptation. Because League of Legends isn't a game where you can do one thing and win. Well, sometimes that happens. But if you can't adapt from a certain strategy, then you're going to be stuck on that strategy. And the second the enemy team figures that out, the second the enemy players figure that out, that word gets around that you're weak to this one thing. If you don't adapt, you're going to keep losing. And being able to adapt and change how you play is just a strength that players have. Once you realize that you can do multiple things, you get better. So this is Studio saying adios, and I'll see you Friday with a different replay.